2 days ago, a great injustice was had in the cyberspace. Gotham was threatened with their most terrifying cyber attack yet. An unforgivable sin was committed in the holy battlegrounds of Apex Legends. I made a video thoroughly going over the topic 2 days ago, but I'll break it down real quick for you since we have a development here. So, there was a Apex Legends tournament hosted by an org called Fate Legion, and during the tournament, a teammate teabagged another teammate. So it was a friend teabagging a friend as a joke, and they laughed about it. But you know who wasn't laughing? The tournament host. The man casting the tournament blew a fucking gasket once he saw the teabagging. He had a reaction to it like he had just watched his own house be set on fire. Just some kind of massive meltdown over this teabagging event, and then said that not only is the player, Dilly, the one who teabagged, banned, but the entire team is banned from the tournament and future tournaments because of the teabagging. And even when it was brought to his attention that they didn't teabag an enemy, it was two friends joking with each other on the same team, he said it didn't matter because teabagging your teammate isn't professional and it's toxic no matter what, and they won't tolerate it. So going on this massive meltdown and this huge power trip, he made a mockery of both himself and the entire org that he represents. So they started getting slammed and jammed on Twitter, just getting dunked on left and right, and they got their ham steamed. But today, they released a statement with their account of the situation, and it is the worst doubling down I have ever seen. Oh, really? What was their statement? Check the Fate Legion Twitter. They made a statement about the Apex teabagging 20 minutes ago. Oh, this is fresh. Oh, we're on the cutting edge right now. This is, oh my god, this is actually one of those moments where it's like too long, didn't read. I'm not reading all that, but good for you, or sorry that it happened. How can you make such a huge statement off of an absolute embarrassment? Just say like, yeah, this was silly. We banned Apex Predator that goes by Dilly. The facts around the situation have been 100% altered to suit the creator's needs for the narrative he needed to start a riot on social media. Interesting spin. Going for the it's all lies approach, even though our caster literally said these things. I don't really know what context spins it differently. It has the exact moment that Dilly teabagged his teammate, and his initial response was, he's banned. All of Crazy Penguin's disqualified. But I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll be convinced. That's super weird, though, because in that clip, it shows your caster acknowledging Dilly's statements on it being his teammate. What do you mean he didn't provide any proof? Your caster even acknowledged it. He literally said, so it's your teammate, but it's still not okay. What do you mean? Oh, it's too small for you guys to read? You guys can't read this on stream? I'm just going to do summaries. So basically this first statement, this first paragraph, is saying that it was a heat of the moment thing and we're sorry about that, but we did decide to let them play it out and they received their prize winnings at the end. He was never given a formal ban, just a verbal one, which they would have overturned if Dilly provided any evidence, which he didn't, even though he did, because the caster acknowledged that it was his teammate during the broadcast, so the evidence was clearly enough to convince the caster. But I'll digress. And then they say that Dilly altered the VODs in order to slander the tournament. Oh, okay, I'll just read it out loud. It'll save me some trouble. Having said that, we are willing to ignore the admin abuse he sent as opposed to banning him to rectify the heat of the moment commentating. Having said that, one of our members sent us a link to forum pages and other social media platforms where Dilly goes on a rant about the heat of the moment decision using his friends in influential positions to post on it to make a stir. He said there were no rules in place during the tournament, but that is false as we do have rules in place. Having said this, we acknowledge that our rules are broad and don't speak specifically to the act itself. We are currently rewriting them so it's easier to understand and apologize for the inconvenience we have caused to do this. The ban, however, went from unsportsmanlike conduct to his permanent ban due to his actions of trying to start a hate slander campaign against Fate Legion. His friend, who is an influencer on Twitter, Jake Lucky, decided to get involved and ask everyone to passive-aggressively come join our community Discord and speak to us on the subject. Jake Lucky even goes as far as to drop owner's in-game name and other social media platforms to send what turned into a hate and death messages. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dilly has never once spoken to Jake Lucky. This dude just peruses Twitter 24 hours a day and absolutely stumbled across this. I don't think they're friends. I think they are pulling this out of their ass. I don't think Dilly is connected to Jake Lucky. I don't think there's a chance of that. This is this is one of those stories that Jake always reports on. This could have been like a Shrek Super Slam drama, and Jake would have posted a tweet about it. That man is always on the hunt. Also, he dropped their Discord to speak to them on this subject, as well as their in-game names. I didn't see any of that. He made 2 tweets, and neither one of them had that, so I don't know where that's coming from. I guess maybe he deleted them. I just don't even think that happened. Speaking of misinformation and facts, let us dive into them, shall we? Bro, this is your official statement as a brand, as an org, and you're gonna speak like a pretentious Redditor? Make a formal statement, not this drivel. Speaking of information and facts, let us dive into them, shall we, as they adjust their glasses, cracking their knuckles. As it stands, here was the old writing on the rules as well as our space. We aim and strive to provide sportsmanship-based competitive gaming, which stands as a pillar of our business. So in our space description alone, it is implied that we are a space that believes in good sportsmanship, which sportsmanship is defined as fair and generous behavior or treatment of others, especially in a sports contest. By no means in any way, shape, or form is crouching up and down repetitively on an enemy or friend any kind of sportsmanship. Furthermore, it is not about the players themselves, but the viewers watching the content as well. Studies have shown that toxic behavior in gaming, such as teabagging and shooting bodies, is a contagious event that will not stop due to the fact that it has always been around, so it is here to stay. What am I reading? What in the fuck is... What is hurting my eyes right now? What? Teabagging and shooting bodies is a contagious event that will not stop due to the fact that it's always been around, so it's here to stay. It's not the fucking T-virus. Like, it's just banter, basically. It's in-game taunting. It's no... Do they ban emoting? Because I could also use an emote in their own tournament, and would that be considered toxic? Like, what the fuck do you mean? And it was a teammate he did it to. It was 2 friends joking. If you didn't have your neighborhood watchdog spectating Dilly at that time, nobody would have been affected. There would have been 2 friends that had a bit of a giggle, and that would have been it. Situation never exists. But because you had an overly... I don't even know what to call it. Like, overly justice-driven vigilante hosting your tournament, he made a big hoopla about it, and he made your whole org look silly, and now you're dying on a stupid hill. This is a terrible statement. This is an absolutely awful statement right now. There was nothing unsportsmanlike about it. He didn't do it to another team. I would absolutely understand if he did it to another team, you could make an argument that it was unsportsmanlike. Fair. I would absolutely give you that. He did it to his friend on his team. This doesn't work. This is full-blown artesian builds, but with a much smaller company. Why are you doing this? He's white knighting, but for nobody. For literally nobody. For himself. There's nobody here. There's not a victim. Like, I don't know what they're trying to say, like, not only for the treatment of others in the contest, but the spectators as well. The viewers watching the contest. Do you think all of your viewers, when they saw Dilly crouch up and down on his teammate's death box, just fell out of their chair, clawing at their own eyes, trying to forget what they just saw, like a traumatic experience? And so this whole paragraph here was supposed to be about correcting misinformation, which they didn't do. In the first paragraph of your statement, you're saying that Dilly slandered you and misrepresented you, and the facts are not there. It is manipulated, it is fraudulent. And in your paragraph where you're supposed to prove that it's fraudulent, you don't. In fact, you prove how vague and unenforceable your rules are. Because sportsmanship can be defined any way you want. It was him and his friend joking around. Like, no one was affected. So there was no sportsmanship violation. And then you go into this weird sentence about teabagging and shooting bodies being contagious. And that it's never going to stop, as if it's some kind of like the plague. Like the bubonic plague of gaming. Listen, they wrote this in 5-point font. I don't know what to tell you. I'm reading it to you. Okay? So just be patient as we digest this. This would be like punishing a pop-off of one of our Smash players. If that happened, I'd go nuts. Yeah, I'd go wild. This makes it a package deal that makes the action in general toxic due to the back-end nature that is used to demoralize players due to lack of skill. When players perform the act, they usually accompany it with negative wording to put other players down, regardless if they can hear or not. The only thing this action does is to try and assert one's dominance over another. How is this kind of behavior condoned? This doesn't even apply. It was his teammate, his friend. They were in a voice call, talking, joking. It wasn't used to demoralize a player due to lack of skill, nor was it accompanied with negative wording. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Just, it was so, it just really grinds my ass to see a company kill themselves so publicly and so avoidably, like with artesian builds. This is, I would say this is like on par, not as bad because the company's not as strong, but like this is still just as tone deaf and misguided. It blows my mind. Like, how do you have a business when you're this out of touch? It saddens me to see high-end influencers and gaming media outlets posting stories on this with no fact-checking at all, of which you have so far provided none, by the way. In your statement all about misinformation and presenting the facts, you have presented none. You have only listed that you have a rule by your own admission that is too vague, and it doesn't apply to the situation. So there is no misinformation then, is what I'm gathering. These were the facts. Misinformation people use as like this ace in the hole kind of thing, like when you play that card you win. Like, no, it's misinformation, so I win. But you didn't prove anything here. The spread of misinformation has gotten so bad and out of control that Jake Lucky and Dilly are now being attacked for being the ones to ban, when in fact it was not. To clarify, Dilly and Jake Lucky had nothing to do with Fate Legion and the tournaments we organize and host. So disingenuous, what actually happened is Twitter brain-rotted zombies saw Jake Lucky's post, and people on Twitter are too fucking stupid to realize he was posting about a different org, so they messaged Jake asking why he'd ban them and be so soft. And now they're trying to make it sound like because the misinformation's gotten so bad, even they're being targeted. When it's a few rogue, dumb assholes. It's not a real thing here. They just posted misinformation to the point that they are now seeing backlash about their own posts about us. So no, they did not have anything to do with Dilly's ban. The reason it's taken us so long to release a statement was due to the fact of the riot these two started, with the sad reality that this post was made about an hour after the tournament. So instead of taking the clip he made for Twitter and submitting it as proof, he decided to take it to social media instead to have the people fight his appeal for him. He did. He went to you initially, and your caster acknowledged it. He literally said, I don't care if it's your teammate. It doesn't matter if it's your teammate, it's still toxic. And when challenged on it, he shut down the lobby, doubled down and saying it's still toxic if it's your own teammate. You can't teabag your own teammate. So he knew. Dilly took it to him first. To clarify to all, we are brand new to the tournament organizing, which was started about 3 months ago. We here at Fate Legion are not perfect, but strive to do our best to give a quality service within the entertainment and gaming industry. So to the accusations that we are some big tournament host currently is false. That I, the owner, or Fate Legion members have any power or authority to ban players from Apex Legends tournaments or games that are not hosted by Fate Legion is false, or that sexual assault was even thought about and the ban is false. If that's like vaguely talking about my video, I only mentioned that the timing is impressive because I just talked about that whole big hoopla on Twitter about teabagging being akin to sexual assault. No one's accusing them of that. I have not seen anyone say anything about that. Nor have I seen anyone saying that Fate Legion has the power to ban them from Apex. And also, they're underselling themselves. As far as I understand, Fate Legion is also one of the only orgs hosting moderately decent-sized tournaments. So, it's not that there's some, like, dumb, stupid org. Like, they are right now one of the few orgs hosting actual tournaments for high-level players outside of the ALGS or official tournaments. At this point, Dilly and Jake Lucky have broken Electronic Arts User Agreement in Chapter 6, Rules of Conduct, sub.4567, 23, and 25, all for the purpose of showcasing a heated remark that was not set in stone and proven with their finished participation with the small Fate Legion tournament in question, as well as paid out in full earnings for the podium to finish. Oh my god. They did not. They're busting out the terms and conditions. I'll look those up, I'm curious. Chapter 6 of Electronic Arts User Agreement. Interfere with or disrupt another player's use of the EA service includes disrupting the normal flow of gameplay chat dialogue with the EA service, for example, using vulgar, harassing language, being abusive, excessive shouting, spamming, flooding, or hitting the return key repeatedly. You actually think that applies? Okay, Fate Legion, let's play by those rules. Your caster did this one, using vulgar or harassing language, being excessive, and shouting. He did that on stream, publicly, in your own professional tournament. So he broke a rule conduct. Ban him. Harass, threaten, bully, embarrass, spam, or do anything else to another player that is unwanted, such as repeatedly sending unwanted messages, personal attacks about race, sexual orientation. What? This also didn't happen because it was his teammate. This is crazy. That is the reality of the situation at hand. How powerful. What a big man behind this keyboard. Wasn't that one of your big statements on stream? You can hide behind this, but you wouldn't do it in the real world. He's really loving that keyboard right now to be super tough. Jesus Christ. Why couldn't you just take an L? You didn't even defend yourself. We at Fate Legion would like to apologize to the gaming community for the disruption this has caused you. As new tournament organizers, we simply wanted to put on the best and most respectable tournaments around, but came up short in our logistics due to the excitement of being granted the opportunity to host Apex Legends private lobbies. Again, we apologize for the turmoil caused by this incident and will strive to do better. This should have been your whole statement. This last paragraph, not all of this in the middle, where you play like Batman. This whole misinformation side arc didn't work because you didn't even provide evidence that there were misinformation. You literally just confirmed that the facts were right. You screamed misinformation and just confirmed the facts that we all know. I don't know what the fuck the point was. What a terrible statement. What is a safe environment for gaming? It's about teaching young players how to be good sportsmen, reinforcing positive communication in gaming communities worldwide, educating on polite commentary on all social platforms, and about having a good attitude. Your caster failed. What do you mean polite commentary? Dude was mauling hard, using vulgar language, and harassing, and engaging in arguments. I wouldn't necessarily say that's positive. That doesn't make me feel safe. I think that would make players afraid. Like, any minute now, your caster could hit a bong rip and just go in on someone for something really trivial. That doesn't sound safe. That is absolutely not sportsmanlike. He hit a bong rip in the same stream, I heard. I haven't seen the clip, but I heard that people started posting him ripping bongs. Jeez, wow, he sounded like an actual narc. I heard people were floating clips around of him taking bong rips on stream during the tournament. Which, again, isn't professional. See, now, here. This you could have used as an example of, okay, he was being mean in the chat, and that influenced our decision. But that never came up, because your caster engaged in this argument with him. You guys both went back and forth. But this would have been a point to you saying, like, it wasn't just the teabagging. His response to it is what made us, enforce the ban or something. Then it's like, okay, so he was in Twitch chat, understandably upset after the outburst from your caster, publicly shaming him, banning them. Okay, he used vulgar language. That was against the term, against your rule. Fair enough, but your caster did it too. Over nothing in the first place. There was no violation. He's rightfully upset. But okay, he violated one of your rules with the vulgar language. I don't know what the fuck they keep posting here. I don't know why they keep posting this. Oh, just to prove that they paid him $15? That was just never even I didn't see anyone questioning that. Was that something people were wondering? Did they get paid? How is paying $15 out, acquit you of everything? Like, it's just not that wasn't what people were upset about. It was banning an entire team for teabagging a teammate. Their own teammate. No one cares. No one cares. No one asked.